All right, and we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics, and I thought I would do something different. I thought I would do a late-night show, see how it goes. I mean, for all my fellow insomniacs or people around the world that have different time zones, we'll see if this works. And if it does, maybe every now and then I'll make a late-night video for people who don't normally get the chance to see one of my live shows. So we'll see how it goes, and if not, hey, I took a shot, and you can't go wrong with that. So what I decided is, people ask me all the time about how many slabbed books I have. I easily could say I have about between 150 to maybe 200 slab books. I have CGCs, I have PGX, I have CBCS, a little bit of everything. So what I thought was I would do some videos every now and then where I just show 10 of the comics that I have that are slabbed books, and get people to see some of the stuff that I have. So welcome people starting to come in. This is an unexpected video that I decided to do late at night. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff. And I do have some good news I want to report before I start showing the books. One of my subscribers told me about the cashback program, saying that they no longer qualified for the $10 cashback. And aloha, Jeff, all the way from Hawaii. I'm jealous. I wish I was there. Hopefully you're nowhere near the volcano. As I was talking about the cashback program, somebody told me that they took away the $10 sign-up bonus. So I sent them a message, and they got back to me, and there's some good news. They said that the $10 cashback is still in effect. It was never taken away. What happens is you can only use it once. So if you've used it before, you can't use it a second time. But also, you have to use it within 90 days of signing up. So the good thing is, if you've signed up for the cashback program and you have not used it yet, if you use it within 90 days of signing up, you still qualify for that $10 cashback. So I contacted them. That's the report. So if you haven't signed up for it before, there's a link in the description. Especially if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a way you can get cash back on comics and stuff. Now, right now, they're not doing any additional cash back on eBay, but you can also purchase on Amazon and all these other places, and you can use it for other things besides comics. So keep that in mind when you make any purchases. Sign up for it, and again, if you spend $25 or more within the 90-day period of signing up, you will still be able to get that $10 cash back. So I'm very glad that they wrote me back, and now that I got that out of the way, let me put on the camera. So, and yeah, Paul, I made it to a live stream. It is 2:30 in the morning here. I am what they call an insomniac. I just got home from working. I do karaoke DJing tonight. And I just felt like doing a video for people that don't normally get to see my, my videos. So, I have 10 slab books that I want to show you. These are ones that I've had for a while now. Books that I've actually been trying to tell people to buy for years. And if you guys like this kind of videos, I'll do them again because, trust me, I have plenty of slab books to show. But I only want to do 10 at a time, so it's not a 3-hour-long video. So with that being said, let's start. Now, the first one, this is a book I bought the day it came out. I have several copies of this book. This is, of course, Amazing Spider-Man number 361, which is the, make sure there's no glare, first appearance of Carnage. And as you can see, it was graded a 9.6. Now, this was my own personal collection, so I paid a total of $1.25 for this. So it cost roughly about $25 with shipping and handling and everything to get it graded, because I sent this in to get graded, and you could see this is a 9.6. Now, obviously not every book is going to be a 9.8, but here's the thing. This book, this comic, was in the original bag and board that I placed it in back in 1992. I just had this graded. Let me see if they have the date on it. It was sometime in 2015 that I sent this in to CGC to get graded. So this was in the original bag and board since 1992. It wasn't a Mylar. It wasn't with a halfback or a fullback or a quarterback or, you know, any of those kind of backs. It was in the same bag and board, never changed it. But because I tell people all the time, if you store comics properly, you will get good grades. So here you go. A 9.6 this came back. And obviously this is a key book to get at this point. But yeah, that's some of the good comics you can get back in the 90s. This is a book I bought, again, probably around 2015. I got 2 of these, and they both came back the same grade, but I'm only going to show one because it makes no sense showing the same thing twice. This is Miss Marvel issue number 1. This is the 1 in 100. Hey, what's up, Undisputed? Welcome. I see you're an insomniac like me. But this is Miss Marvel number 1. This is the 1 in 100. I think this is the, who did the cover? Arthur Adams cover. I love this cover. I paid a total of $118.34 for this book. I had 2 of these. I sent them in to get graded, and they both came back CGC 9.8s. And with the whole rumors of Kamala Khan eventually being in a Marvel movie, that is definitely a book to pick up if you can get it. Polygate. Yeah, please, don't even get me started about that. I got enough hate as it is, but I enjoy it now. It's so fun to have all these people that, like, stalk my channel. It gives me extra views, so thank you. Keep it up, everybody. Alright, so this is another one. This is a book I was telling people back in early 2015 to get. I have probably 10 copies of this. I sent in 4 of them to get graded, and 3 of them came back a 9.8. Now this is Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 2. This is the first print, which of course is the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, which they are now going to be calling, I think, Ghost Spider. So the next comic that comes out, that's what her name is going to be at this point. Because obviously, if you're supposed to be a superhero, you want to hide your identity, so saying what your first name is, probably not a smart idea. But obviously, when they made this book, they had no idea how popular this comic was going to be and this character was going to be. So people just nicknamed her Spider-Gwen, and it just stuck. So I paid about $25 for this book with shipping and handling and sending it to get graded. I only paid a total of $51 for a 9.8. This is several $100s, this book, and I have several of them. And I have so many of them I haven't even gotten graded yet, but eventually I will. Alright. And then Undisputed's at work, so there you go. Good to see your bosses. We must love that. Alright. Let's show a Golden Age book. This is Detective Comics, issue number 55. If you don't have a Golden Age book, I highly recommend it. But be forewarned, once you get them, you will be addicted. So, to me, getting an early Detective Comics I love this, because especially since this has Bob Kane art. So it's Bob Kane and also Jerry Siegel with the stories, or Siegel. It's a PGX 2.0 cream to white pages, which, considering this book came out in 1941, I can't complain, because the cover, I mean, for a 2.0, cover looks great. And as you can see on the back, no tears, no rips or anything. So I don't know. I might get this one regraded at one point, because I think this might be even better than a 2.0. It looks beautiful. But I paid a total of $219.56 for this book. I bought this off eBay. Definitely try and get yourself some Golden Age books. I mean, there's just something about them. It's very nostalgic. Alright, another book I was telling people for years to get. I wish people would have listened for the most part, because I want to try and get people to save money and make some money. But I have several of these. I probably have 8 or 10 copies. This one I bought already graded, but I bought this again around 2015. And this, of course, with the new movie coming out. This is Shazam issue number 1. Love this cover. Definitely looks like the movie has potential. Now, I said the same thing with Suicide Squad. I mean, the trailers looked awesome, and when I saw that, me and my wife both looked at each other like, what did we just witness? So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this becomes something really good. But this is the first appearance of Shazam. Keep that in mind, because in the Golden Age, he was called Captain Marvel. But obviously they lost the rights to that after not using the character for a certain time, and Marvel took it over. So this is the first time they used the word Shazam. But it says first appearance of Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel since the Golden Age, and the origin is retold. So this is a Bronze Age book. It came in 1973, but he hasn't been used since the Golden Age. So if technically this is his first appearance as Shazam. He's no longer Captain Marvel. So definitely a great book to get. This was graded a 9.4 with white pages. For 1973, that's awesome. Only paid $101.35 for this book. I haven't checked to see the value of what this book is now, but I have a feeling it's probably a lot higher than that at this point. And that's why I always tell people, get stuff early, because I got that way before there were announcements, and they were just kind of rumors. So this is another book. This is one where they haven't made an announcement, but if DC starts to get on track and starts doing things the right way, this is just a matter of time. So please, don't wait too long to get this book. This is Forever People, issue number 1. This is the first full appearance of Darkseid. Now, of course, the one that everybody wants, and the more popular one, is the Jimmy Olsen, I believe, issue 134. That's one of the exceptions to the rules. Yeah, Undisputed Frost, I was, definitely. I was telling people, yeah, get those books, get them cheap. I still have them all. It's funny, I buy them to get, like, profit someday, but then I find myself not being able to sell them. But this was graded an 8.5. This is off-white to white pages for 1971. I mean, beautiful cover. Get this book while you can. This book, eventually, like I said, if DC does this right, Darkseid eventually is going to show up. And if they do this justice, I mean, this book can become unreachable, if provided they do it right. So, you know, fingers crossed. But I paid $193.15 for this book. I don't think that's a bad price. I think this one has so much potential. All right, so 4 more. This is another book that I had since I was a child. So I paid $1.50 for this book. I had 2 of them. One I had signed in 1992. This one I didn't. But this was my reader copy. And again, this was in the same bag and board since I was a kid back in 1988. Never changed the bag and board. Got this graded about 2 years ago. Now, this was my reader copy. So, Amazing Spider-Man 300. If you watch my channel, I probably have about 7 or 8 copies of this book. For some reason, this book keeps falling in my lap. And I paid a total of $1.50 for this book. So about $25 to get it graded and with the insurance and all that stuff. So a grand total of $26.50 for Amazing Spider-Man 300. Came back in 8.5. So considering this was my reader copy that I loved Amazing Spider-Man back in those days. I probably read this book about 30, 40 times as a kid. And for it to come back in 8.5, you know, like I said, if you want to spend extra money on those things so the comics look shinier, that's up to you. It's all about how you store them. All right, now, this one's going to be a learning lesson of why you need patience. This is New Mutants 98, first appearance, I'm sorry, New Mutants 87, first appearance of Cable. Now, I did not buy this off the shelf. I passed it up at first because I didn't like Rob Liefeld's artistry at the time. But then all of a sudden, this comic blew up. I spent $60 in 1990 to buy this book. That's a lot for back then, because this book shot to the moon right away. Got it signed at New York Comic Con by Rob Liefeld. So I had this, it probably was about a month to 2 months after this book came out, it shot up to $60. That's how quick this book came. But you notice, for years and decades, this book was worth nothing. But look at what it's worth now. So it went from $60 when I paid for it back in 1990. It dropped out of nowhere for a good 25, 30 years. And now, because of the fact that Cable has not only been in Deadpool 2, but, you know, as long as Disney continues it, he has contracts to do more movies. where it could be X-Force and he can do his own solos. They haven't said every one of them. But it shows that sometimes you're going to miss the boat, or sometimes a book may not seem popular, but then decades later, all of a sudden, it can just shoot to the moon. Keep that in mind, and don't be discouraged if you lose out on something. This took 30 years to become relevant again. And I spent a lot of money on this, and it literally, maybe 2 or 3 months after I spent the $60, it just dropped from the ceiling. Fell to the ground. So I paid a total with the grading and everything for this, because this one was sent to CBCS, so you could see the red label, so it was verified. But I wasn't worried about that, because I personally had this signed. But this is the first appearance, the first full appearance of Cable, Nathan Summers. And they do say here, red and orange cover versions exist. That's interesting. I actually never read that before. Because I have other copies, and I thought maybe the sunlight actually affected some of the colors. But it says here, according to CBCS, that there are red and orange cover versions that exist. That's interesting. All right, so we all learned something tonight. So $95 after getting it graded. Signed by Rob Liefeld. So be patient. All right, so I'm going to show 2 more. This is another book that I was telling people to get back in 2015. Obviously, if you didn't have my channel back then, that doesn't help you at all. But this was a book I knew eventually she was going to get a movie. I heard rumors, and I love the fact that even back then, my haters think I lie about everything and I don't know what I'm talking about. But you could see time and time again how many books that I predicted back then are now coming to fruition. It just sometimes takes a couple of years, but that's the best time to buy a book. But I got this one great. I bought it raw for $30, got it graded, so it cost me roughly around $55, and it came back a 9.2, Miss Marvel issue #1. When I saw this on eBay, and the person was selling it for $30, I had to have it. And I probably have about 8 copies of this book, like 3 or 4 other ones graded. This is the highest one I have graded so far. But I have at least about 5 or 6 more ungraded that eventually I'll get graded. But this came back white pages. This came back out in 1977, where I was a total of 6 years old. First appearance of Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel. It's got a Scorpion and J. Jonah Jameson and Mary Jane Watson appearance, and a Peter Parker cameo. Definitely a book to get. Definitely a lot more expensive. All right. Last book for this time. And like I said, guys, if you like this, if you want me to do this again late at night, I'll definitely do this every now and then, because I know most of the time I put my videos out in the morning, or I do a live show like mid-afternoon, early evening, and there are other people in time zones. So if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up, show me the support. And again, watch from the beginning, because I did find out that the cashback program still has the $10 cashback bonus in effect. One time only for first-time users, if you use it within 90 days of signing up. So that's the good part. So if you haven't signed up for it, the link is in the description. Go sign up for it. If you've already signed up for it, you're not going to get the 1% on eBay for comics, but you can use it for other things, and you can also use it on Amazon and other places. So it's definitely still good. This is another book. I was preaching this book. It was like the #1 book that I told people to get. Some of you have been watching my channel since the original one, probably know what this is, but this one is the variant. And I bought this one already signed. So I paid a total of $155 for this book. This is Ultimate Fallout 4. The 1 in 25 variant. I absolutely love this cover. The artwork on here and the colors on here is absolutely amazing. This is a book, it's very expensive. Raw books of this right now are going for $700. I bought this for approximately about $120 signed, ungraded, and I sent it to CBCS, so again, you could see the red label. So this was signed by Sarah Pichelli, who did the art in this book. It's the first appearance of Miles Morales. Now, this book, I have been... Undisputed say, my boy Miles. I've been preaching about this book since 2015, when you could buy the regular cover for $15. I bought probably 15 copies of that book. I have 2 of these. One of them I have, it's not signed, but I haven't gotten it graded yet. I definitely will be getting that graded. But this is a book, if you could find a deal on it, and if you could buy this for under $500 at this point, grab it. Because like I said, it was just a matter of time before they used this character in a movie, and they're starting to do that now. Now, it's a cartoon at this point, but I think they're kind of doing that as a test run to kind of see how people will like him or not. I think it's a matter of time. I don't think he'll replace Peter Parker, but I think eventually he'll be partnered with Peter Parker, or maybe have his own version of a movie. In other words, not replacing, just be another character. And I wish the movies would do more of that. Instead of taking and rebooting stuff where they take characters that have been established and loved over the decades, instead of just saying, oh, here's a character you love, now it's a woman, or now it's a different race of person, or whatever. Why don't they just make something for that character and make a new character? So this way, you're not stepping on the toes of the people who love the character, and you might create a new character that people will love. If you do that, everybody wins. Instead of people thinking, oh, we'll just, make whatever we want, and just step on the toes of people saying, like the Ghostbusters, what they did. I love Ghostbusters. I, to this day, have not seen the new Ghostbusters movie, nor will I ever see it. Whether you did or not, or you liked it or not, that's up to you. It's just my opinion. Doesn't mean you have to believe it or like it. So I paid $155 for this. It was signed. This is Ultimate Fallout, the 1 in 25 variant. Please, if you can find this book for under $500, grab it. So raw, this book is about $700. I paid $155 signed. So this is probably about, because it's a 9.0, probably a $500 or $600 book at this point, and probably going to go up from there. So those are the 10 books. I have so many more books that I would love to show you if you guys think this is a series worth doing. And if you do, this thumbs up will tell me. Let me know in the comments section. I always do a surprise subscriber shout out. So I've decided now with the live show, even people that are not subscribed and just watching, we're going to do a surprise subscriber shout out. So we are going to go with Timothy Harris. So Timothy Harris, you have today's surprise subscriber shout out. And Evan says, shout out to the great Ghostbusters controversy of 2016. Don't even get me started about that. Never seen it, never will. But that's it. Those are the 10 comics. I hope you appreciated it. And you noticed they were all CGCs, so you could see I love all 3 slabbing companies. Each one has its own pluses and minuses. I don't have brand loyalty. So thank you very much. Sith Lord, I see. What's up, Chris? I'm at work. Seems like everybody's working tonight. What's going on? Hopefully none of you people are airline pilots. So, hope you enjoyed this. It was fun making it. I mean, if I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I might as well be up sharing comics with you guys. So thank you very much. 44 people watching at 3 o'clock in the morning. Thumbs up to you guys. So thank you for that support. Thank you for the love. And don't forget, it's not you, it's not I. It is we love comics. Now get back to work before you get fired.